Hello peeps and welcome to Sundays with Sparky. I don't need to do I always seem to do I don't always seem to do that. Sometimes I seem to do that. And sometimes I don't. But I don't need to do the trumpet noises because I've got trumpet noises on in post-production. So yeah. But you know, it's like what Chris Pratt even said about being Star-Lord in Guardians of the Galaxy, that when he was having to do his fight scenes and he was making laser gun pew, 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 kind of noises, and they were like, can you just not do the noises? And they had to cut everything they recorded that to just kind of dismiss because it had Chris Pratt going pew, 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 pew. I thought that was quite fun. Quite a fun little story. Hello, welcome back. It's been, what, 2 weeks? Yes, because there wasn't one last week because of the CoxCon Spectacular. Or special. It's like a vlog special thing. That was cool. I met Jesse Cox, and that guy is such a legend. Such a legend, because he was stood there signing stuff and having photographs taken with literally everyone, and it must have, I mean, I was waiting a long time to see him, but he was there a good hour or so before I decided to join the kind of terrible queue, and he was there long after I left. Apparently he was still signing and taking photos and stuff up to like midnight that night, so fair play to him, because he must have been doing that for about 5 or 6 hours. Much respect, because I don't know many other people that would do that for their fans. No normal celebrity I can think of would do that. If you was to suggest that to, I don't know, somebody that worked in TV or film or radio or something and said, hey, why don't you do a meet and greet with your fans and stand there in a corner in a hot, sweaty room for 6 hours, posing for photographs and signing autographs and stuff? I can't imagine many of them would agree to it, really. So fair play to him. Much respect for Jesse Cox. You might not necessarily like the content that he puts out, but you know, there's obviously people that do, and he's obviously very grateful for that. So fair play. Fair play to him. Alright, so it's been a bit crazy recently. There's been lots of Hearthstone Naxxramas stuff going out. We're on the last kind of bit of it now. So I've got 2 more videos to go up from the heroic modes of last week, and then this week coming we've got the very last area to be opened. So as far as I'm aware, that's only going to have 2 bosses in, so it'll be 2 normal videos and 2 heroic videos, and then it's it. And then after that we can get back to normal on how we used to do things. And we'll start getting the Orcs Must Die back, and we'll get a bit more kind of organised, I suppose. Get a bit more of a structure back to how I upload, because it's just been a bit kind of like, I must try and get this out, and trying to edit and render and upload as many videos as I can, as quickly as I can, and try and get other videos out and other videos edited and other videos recorded and do stuff at work. And yeah, it's just been a bit of a crazy one. And obviously the CoxCon thing, that was basically my entire Saturday, was out doing that. And then the Sunday, I spent a good part of that Sunday editing the video to put out on Sunday, and I had to put out other videos as well, so it's so crazy. So this week we had Trouble in Terrorist Town, the bowling episode. Andres had been waiting for the bowling episode since we recorded it, I don't know, 3 or 4 weeks ago, possibly longer. if you haven't seen it, you should, because Andres will love you for it, because he has quite an excellent game in that video. He does very well indeed. We had some heroic versions of the bosses from the military quarter. We had some Gmod murder. I think that might be the last Gmod murder that I have to upload. I'm just going to check real quick. I'm checking. Except my computer doesn't want to go real quick. It just wants to go, well, I know you clicked on this, but I'm not so sure that you really want to look at it. Yeah, that's the last murder one. Oh, we've got loads of prop hunt. Oh, we'll be fine. We'll be fine. Got prop hunt, and we've got some more TTT to come, so it's all good. So that's what's been going on this channel on this week. If you're a new subscriber, which there have been a few since CoxCon, thumbs up. Thanks peeps, much appreciated. I'd really like to hit 200 before my year anniversary of doing this, which is like November. So there's only 24 more people. So tell your friends, if they like Hearthstone and they like listening to English people babbling on about nonsense, then that's cool. Send them my way. Tell them I said hi. And I give virtual hugs. And I give really good hugs too. I'll have you know. Really good ones. Cool. Alright, let's go on to movies then. Did I go to the cinema last week? No, I didn't. I was thinking about it, but the movies that I wanted to see weren't out yet. And I've seen Guardians of the Galaxy twice now, so I don't think I really need to see that again. That being said, I think I should be going to the cinema this week. Should be going to see, I think if it's out, I'm going to go and see Lucy, the new film with Scarlett Johansson and Morgan Freeman. I'm really looking forward to that. I've heard mixed reviews, but I generally don't listen to them. So I've kind of heard people go, oh, that's not supposed to be very good, or oh, that's supposed to be quite good. And I just go, shh. I'll find out on my own. DVDs though, there's a whole bunch. So we're going to reel off this pretty quick because I've already been talking for far too long already. So I'll have to probably edit a ton of stuff. Okay, first off, Iron Man 3. Yeah! I think, although saying that, I think this is possibly the weaker one of all the Marvel type. I realised it was a fairly necessary story to progress the character of Iron Man and Tony Stark. More for what happens right at the end. So that can lead into more stuff in the next Avengers, whenever that is. And then secondly we have Thor: The Dark World. I think this was much better than the first one. Although the first one obviously needed to be made. And this one follows on from the events of the Avengers, as does Iron Man 3. It's nice to see Tom Hiddleston's in this as well, opposite Chris Hemsworth as, you know, Loki and Thor. We got to see more of Asgard in this movie, which was good, and it was set in London. Well, some of it was set in London, which was cool too, because it's not very often that you see that. Most of the time, it's New York or Los Angeles or Chicago or, you know, somewhere like that. It's not very often that you see something set in London, which was pretty cool. This is the end. A very silly comedy, but quite funny. James Franco, Jonah Hill, Seth Rogen, Jay Baruchel, Danny McBride, Craig Robinson, Michael Cera, Emma Watson, Rihanna, just a whole ton of people are in this. If you like kind of stuff like 40-Year-Old Virgin and Knocked Up and Tropic Thunder, that kind of stuff, then you'll probably enjoy this. It was pretty funny. Maybe if you are having an evening with your friends, maybe pop on This Is the End and have a bit of a chuckle. So the next movie, told you there's a lot. It's called The Fighter, and this has got Mark Wahlberg, Christian Bale, and Amy Adams in it. It's about how Christian Bale, who is the older brother, how he kind of falls from grace, I suppose. How the mighty have fallen, and he goes from being like the pride of the town, you know, where he knocked down Sugar Ray Leonard. He goes from that to kind of missing important appointments because he's smoking crack in this crack den, you know, in this street, in this town that he lives in. And he's supposed to be training his brother, and he doesn't turn up for like 2 hours, and like no one knows where he is, except they kind of do know where he is, they just don't want to admit it to themselves. Christian Bale does a fantastic job. He got 2 Academy Awards, Best Supporting Actor and Best Supporting Actress. So if you haven't seen The Fighter, you definitely should, because it's fantastic. And then last but not least, this movie, which is called The Place Beyond the Pines. It's got Bradley Cooper, Ryan Gosling, Eva Mendes, and Ray Liotta. I was a bit worried about this one because if you remember, I watched Drive not too long ago, where Ryan Gosling was a stunt car driver, and he didn't really say much. And I enjoyed it, but I didn't think it was as good as all the critics had made it out to be. And in this one, he is a stunt motorcycle driver. But it's still worth watching, just because it's a little different from what you're normally watching. Normally, you get introduced to your kind of main character at the start of the movie within sort of first 10-15 minutes. You kind of get introduced to them and who they are and what their name is and all that kind of stuff, and you kind of pretty much stay with them throughout most of the movie. Whereas this one, it changes. Like, you get a third of the way through, and then it changes from this person to this person, and you start seeing everything from their perspective instead. And then another third of the way through, and then it shifts from this person to this person. And then you start seeing everything from this person, and how it kind of... It doesn't really come full circle, but everything is linked via this one specific kind of thing that happens. So that's the movies. That is everything. I will be uploading some more Gary's Mod stuff this week on Monday. Possibly some TTT. Probably some Prop Hunt, because we've got more of that than anything else. And yeah, I like Prop Hunt because I was quite good at it. I was pretty good at it. Don't tell the others, but I was pretty good at it. There'll also be some more Hearthstone, Curse of Naxxramas, and other stuff. Maybe. Oh Christ, I'm gonna go because I've been chatting for ages. I think I've been chatting for about 30-40 minutes now, so I'm gonna go and try and edit all of this nonsense. Thanks very much for watching. I will see you next week, where we'll talk about stuff. We'll talk about Lucy, and we'll talk about the last of Hearthstone, Curse of Naxxramas, and we'll talk about some new things. Let's talk about new things that we've never talked about before, or something. I'm very tired and I'm not quite sure what I'm talking about, so I apologise. I'm gonna go. It's probably best if I just go. So yeah, I'll see you next week. Bye bye.